Okay, so I'm doing the end of this video as the intro. Just blew it out the best I could. Great, reasonable goals. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. We're gonna be talking more about what we're doing. This is what we're gonna be doing for the next 7 weeks or so. Please join us if you wanna kick butt on breaking away from the world, getting closer to God, breaking away from the toxicity. And I firmly believe to boost your immune system, and I firmly believe to break the chain of depression. The most concerning thing that I have seen in the past couple of days, week, is how many people are suffering from depression. It's a no-brainer. This was happening before 2020, but I think over the last 5 years and everything that's going on, I think has triggered a lot of anxiety and PTSD and depression for people. You do what works best for you. You find a routine that works for you. That's up to you. But diet and exercise, I think everybody on the planet that has a brain is going to tell you that and is also going to witness with that. And those of you out there already know it. So do the best that you can with what you have. Just start, okay? Journal it. Do your devotionals. Like I do my devotionals when I finish with the rest of the barn chores. But just get busy, okay? You don't have to live this life. You don't have to be as unhealthy as you are today. You don't have to be as depressed as you are today. You have that control. Talk to God about it and just get moving. Just get moving. Just get moving. Just stretch and walk. Talk to God the whole time. I am convinced you will see a difference very soon. Let's get going. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to try to do what I did yesterday. Okay, could change. I may not do this every day. Don't know yet. Your input, give it to me. I'm going to do 25, stop. 25, stop. And I'm going to do the breathing in between. May only do 75. Because see, remember, I just started this yesterday. So I'm trying to figure out how much do I do this every day, every other day. I don't know yet. So you just got to start playing with things. And after a week or two, you're going to go, this is my groove. This is my jam, right? At least you're doing something. If I fall down, you can laugh. I'll laugh too. So I did 100. I think I can do more, but I'm not. We're just starting, right? If you want to add any input on that, some of you guys work out a lot and you know more about it than I do, add to it. Now stretch. Goal is 1 mile. 1 mile. I know I can do more, at least a little bit more, I think, but I'm not. I'm gonna do 1 mile. So some of you have asked about building. When I first started running long distance running, long time ago, it literally started with walking, building to running a half mile. You'd run like a half mile, take a day off, half mile. The next day you push it to 1 mile. It's just a slow graduation build with some breaks in between. It's not rocket science. Anytime you injure, you think you might have hurt yourself or it was too much, back off a little bit and then push forward the next day after. Just think about it. It doesn't take long to build. It really, really doesn't. Just be easy on yourself, be realistic, and just keep going. So, good morning, friends. Friday morning. It's a little bit late. How you doing? Look what I got. You see these little arm deals? I love them. Give me a hug. How you doing? Let's keep walking. So, wanted to talk to you about a few things. And I'm going to be recording this. So, if what we're doing here right now, amongst all the other things that we do here on this channel, I'm taking you along on the ride. A lot of you are joining in on our journey for the next 7 weeks or whatever. And I want some of your feedback. A lot of you are giving it. So that's good. So James is unloading some feed real quick. He was determined to get that done. So we've cleaned up, we've gotten up, we've been to the dump, we got feed. And I was like, let's get our walk in, let's get our run in, let's get all these things in. He's like, no, I want to unload this feed first. So he's unloading some feed right now. So big guy woke up this morning, took his blood sugar, 98. So he's got his blood sugar and has had it under control for quite a while, but it's really, really, really doing well. He's doing great. So I'm telling you, just changing your diet as best you can. These are, I know, this sounds so kindergarten to say because everybody knows this, but until you really put it to the test with measures that matter and give it the time for it to prove itself, then you don't really know, right? So he is focusing on building strength. He's gonna be walking. Some of you have asked me, so if you don't know, we got a 5K coming up, and he is participating in that. I've been trying to get him to do this for a couple of years, and this year he's doing it. So he's probably gonna end up walking at least half or all, because he has to build his body up to that. I'm already there. Doesn't mean I'll perform as good as I have in the past. I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna do my best. I'm not really worried about that. I don't really keep numbers too much. I do keep some, like I'm recording our weight. So here's what's happened. I wanna talk to you about this. Several different things. So hang with me, okay? Because my brain's a little bit, no way, all right? So what I'm doing real quick right now is I'm just doing a quick warm up and stretching, and I'm using my weight vest. I showed you that yesterday. Really, really, really like it. Now I did get the ankle weights as well, and I've been reading a lot of your comments about being careful with them because you don't want to tear up your knee. See, a lot of things I don't do anymore, or I don't participate in, because if I get injured, I can't work my farm, okay? And I know you're kind of like, well, duh, but really, it's a serious thing. Like some of y'all, it's a joke, but some of y'all were teasing me about not doing a zip line when we went to Gatlinburg. Well, we didn't go to Gatlinburg. We drove up there to look at the tragedy of Gatlinburg these days. Telling you the truth. So it breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Some of my best memories as a little kid was going on a Saturday with my Nana, my great-grandmother, my aunties. We would go to Gatlinburg. We would eat breakfast. We would look for baskets because it was the 80s. And, you know, fun things like that. But anyway, he was teasing me about getting on a zip line. I'm not afraid to get on a zip line. What I'm afraid is of hurting myself. And when you start a farm and a homestead, which we've been doing many, many years now, you can't get hurt. It's very difficult if you get hurt or sick. A lot of you are, and that's with anything. I mean, that's not just that, but if I'd hurt myself, as I have many times in the past, really, really affects the homestead. So I'm trying to don't be stupid, right? So tell me what you think. So I'm warming up a lot for now with the weighted vest. I do like it. I got a 10-pounder. I put the link on my Facebook. I got it off Amazon, guys. No big deal. I spent $36 and I got gray. Different colors, different weights. Do what works best for you. I'll put the link down below if I can remember to. I always say that, and half the time I forget. But I really do think this makes a difference. We talked about that yesterday. The ankle weights, I'm going to back off of. I liked them. I felt them. They were great. I got 4-pounders. What I'm going to use them for is to do stomach crunches with. Putting some weight on my feet to do that. So that's what I'm going to use them for. They were like $12, so I'm not really out anything there. Nothing major. Jump rope, love it. Started that yesterday. I mean, we've all jump roped in our life, but I never took it serious anywhere. I did a little bit in Krav Maga when I was training with that, and I was training with kickboxing. I did do some jump roping then. Kicks my butt every time. Kicks my butt. So what I did yesterday is let's turn back up this way because they're loud. So I did 25 and stop. 25 and stop. So I did 100. I have no idea if that's good or bad or indifferent. I've seen a few little videos this morning. I was trying to look. People do it different ways. like I said, I'm not going on a specific routine. I'm just trying to do what works best for me and build. Starting with a number, I'm recording it. How much do I weigh? How much did I exercise? I'm not to a point of trying to be competitive with myself in terms of my run time for my 5K yet. I'm not there. I should test myself here soon, in the next couple of days, just to see what I can do. Not knock myself out, but just see what I can do. But I'm telling you, journaling all this is really good. Write down your goals. Write down what you want to do realistically. I know, right? And record where you are. I would not obsess. This is me. Do what works best for you. I would not obsess over weight or whatever. I do think it's good to journal goals, things, ideas, accomplishments. And the reason why I like to do that is because I always end up having things on my list that I didn't do that day. So then I start the next day and go, I meant to go pick those blackberries. And it's not just weight or exercise. It's all the things that I need to do. The main things I want to do every day. So I really encourage that. But James has a blood sugar this morning of 98. We had dinner before 7 o'clock. Didn't eat anything else. He's pretty much only drinking water. We do have, I'm going to tell you something. We do have Coca-Cola twice a week. A little bit. I let James finish the can. I have some, he has some, and then he finishes the can. That's one of his treats. He loves Coca-Cola. I know you shouldn't. I get it. He knows it more than anybody, okay? But we take something, when we take certain things, watch my eyeballs wink like this at you. If you know, you know, right? Then that's what we take it with. So, we have our own protocol of things that we do around here and have been doing it for several years. And I'll just leave it at that, okay? So that's a treat. That's one of the treats. But doing really good. But what I'm trying to do is do warm-ups and stretch. Then I pick and choose how much I'm going to run. I'm going to be doing crunches, planks, and jump rope. Right now I'm just doing 25 and a quick break. 25 and a quick break. So that's what I'm doing. Tell me what your thoughts are. Just journal it. Just start. And just write down where you are when you start. Don't fixate on numbers. Just keep building. And just see where you are in 2 weeks. See where you are in a month. I think you'll be very pleased. Very. Now, something else that I want to bring up, which I sort of mentioned yesterday, and somebody made an excellent comment about, is the difference between how much you weigh with fat versus muscle. So I want to tell you a story. And I almost hesitate talking about stuff like this because I don't want people to get the wrong impression, but I can't change who I am or how much I weigh or how big I am. I mean, my mother and sister are like little Smurfs. So I'm not a big person, all right? I mean, my Nana was really tall. She was like 5'9". She's not quite 5'9" anymore, but, so we have a mix of sizes with women in our family genetically. But if you look at my mom and my sister's 4'11", y'all, okay? For real. So my mom's like 5'1" or 5'2". I'm 5'4.5". So I'm kind of the bigger of that trio. But when I started Israeli Krav Maga, and that's when I was in the best shape of my life, after 3 children, in my mid-30s, even though I ran cross country in high school, and your body's younger, I really do feel the best shape of my life was about 2 years into Israeli Krav Maga training and kickboxing. Did it about 5 days a week. Nothing crazy. I also did, if you all are looking for something at home, I have no idea if this thing even still exists. I'm sure you can find the DVD set somewhere. I don't know if they have stuff online. I have no idea. I did P90X. You want to kick your butt into gear at home, P90X definitely amped it up. Now we're talking like 12, 15 years ago, folks, okay? I'm a lot older. But when I started Israeli Krav Maga, I weighed 117 pounds. So I was not a big gal, okay? I was about a size 4, 6, something like that. By the time I ended Israeli Krav Maga, my black belt, I got a black belt. And by the time I ended that, which was 3.5 years later, you know, I ate whatever I want. I ate healthy, worked out, raised my kids, homeschooled, did all the things, but we would go and train. My kids big time trained. So that gave me an outlet. It was a family affair, right? So I was no bigger, if I can say it that way. I wasn't any bigger by the last 6 months of training. I was older, and I weighed 135 pounds. I was still a size 4 to 6. So for some of you, if you're built like me, when you start doing this, you may actually drop some weight at first, right? I anticipate that I will. I've already told James, I said, I think I'm gonna drop a few pounds. And he said, well, you'll just turn around and pack them back on. And I said, right, because that's typically what I do. I think that's what most people do. So you may lose some weight and be like, yeah. Well, if you keep working out and doing the right things and really get good at what you like to do for your health, you may actually then find yourself putting back on weight. Depends on your body. It depends upon how much you weigh. I mean, clearly, if you need to drop 100 pounds, that may not be the case for a while. But you may drop 100 pounds, keep going, and then you may find yourself getting back like 20. It just depends. So I went from 117 pounds to 135 pounds, and I wasn't any bigger. Obviously, my body changed. So you need to consider that, right? You need to consider that. And by the way, I just want to say, any voices out there telling you that you're wrong for doing this, or, and I'm saying, people want to say ugly things. They're just going to want to be ugly because you're self-improving. The devil doesn't want you to self-improve, okay? Understand that when you have all these battles, that it's really in the spiritual realm. It really honestly is, because last night I slept like a rock. I did. I went to bed about 10:30, and I don't think I moved until like 6:10, just out. That is going to be a huge win for you, because that's when your body, as we all know, really starts to heal and really starts to do what it needs to do. The reason I'm doing this mainly, and let's talk about this for a second, is yes, I love doing this. We've done this a couple of times. I prepare for 5Ks, whatever. This time it's a little bit different, and here's why. So I just told you about my Israeli Krav Maga training, and when I got my black belt, I got it on December the 7th, and once I did that, I told James and I told the family, I'm going to take about 6 weeks off. Major mistake. Christmas was coming, the kids were in school, or we were trying to finish up the school. So I thought, I'm just going to take 4 to 6 weeks off. And during that time process, we put our house up for sale. This is when we were originally trying to leave West Knoxville, leave our little homestead in the burbs. Learned a lot there. And we moved up to the mountain. That's where you see Appalachia's Homestead kind of come into play about a year or two after we moved up there. But prior to that, trying to sell the house, homeschool kids, So I took 4 to 6 weeks off. It was very stressful because we were deciding to move, stepping out, whatever. I got shingles. The worst case of shingles, I'm telling you, you've ever physically seen. I'm not even making that up. I looked like a leper. I'm not joking. So that was then. And I knew then, very quickly, I told James, I said, I'm such a high anxiety person, right? A lot of us are. I have to get my stress out. And I get my stress out by hard work. You have to have limitations and boundaries. I get that. But working out, doing some running, eating a little bit better, I think keeps all of that at bay for me, right? Well, this past year, if you followed the channel, you're going to know that we joined the gym, right? We joined the gym. James lost weight. which he kind of put some back on, but now he's back down again. So doing really good. But I got sick. It's still mysterious as to what a lot of us got sick with back in like January, February. Well, once my immune system, I'm not working out, right? Because I got sick. Then post-sickness, because I really blame this, y'all. I know it could be related, maybe not, but I really do blame it. So I wasn't working out. You were just sick. And once I started to go, okay, I'm getting better, I got shingles again this past year, 3 or 4 months ago. And it was awful. It wasn't the worst case I've ever had, but you feel like crap. I mean, I was really overall sick for like 2 months. And I'm not going back to that as best I can. I really feel, I mean, things are going to happen, right? I really feel that controlling what you are allowing in front of you, which is why I'm doing this platform. I post on Facebook because a lot of you follow me there, and I'm posting on Instagram. I have an X account. I might repost something, but honestly, I'm pretty much staying off X for the next at least 6 to 8 weeks. I might check in there once in a blue moon just to see what's going on, but when I do that, it doesn't freak me out. You already know what's going on, and it's a bunch of crap. So, not ignoring anything, but what I'm trying to do is get my body back in check. Because again, like I said way back in the beginning, if you have a farm, family, homestead job, and you get really, really sick, it slows down everything that you do. Not to mention the things that certain illnesses can do to you going forward. So here's my deal. I'm determined, going into next year, I'm going to be 50 years old, and I figure I have a really good window of opportunity to start taking things back. I know I'm in good health, and I'm very grateful for that, but we can always self-improve. So this is why I'm doing it. See what your body does. My body responds to getting out here, rain, shine, cold, hot, not, within boundaries of, even if I'm walking, even if I'm just stretching, even if I just do some extra chores on the homestead. And some people say, you don't need to exercise because you should have all this farm work. It's not the same thing. Sorry. It's just not. I mean, yes, heavy lifting will build your bulk and build your muscles. I was telling a guy yesterday, I'm like, do you know how many 50-pound bags of feed we lug a week? We get that in, but if you're not spending the time stretching and getting in some cardio and trying your best to control your sleep and control your diet, your supplements, your exposure to this poisonous, toxic world, it cancels itself out. I'm sorry. I've heard other good homesteaders argue about that. And the ones that were the most physically fit, they're like, that's a bunch of crap. You still need to work out. You've got to get in some weight training, okay? You've got to try to get in some type of cardio. You've got to, even if it's just 3 days a week, because you're not getting in a full rounded out situation by just lugging cows and this. I mean, maybe it's different for women, okay? Maybe it's different for high stress people. Don't know. I'm just saying, if I just say, I'm not going to walk, stretch, run, participate in things outside of working my farm, I go downhill. And I'm not willing to sacrifice that. So you have to come to the point where you go, what am I willing to sacrifice? I'm not willing to sacrifice anything, because I feel like many of you, even if things aren't perfect, right, that you still have a window of opportunity to improve. And the only way we're going to survive, and the only way that we're going to be prepared to deal with everything that's up in front of us, you got to try your best to eat better, sleep better, be better, get rid of the toxic stuff, and just get out there and do something, whatever you can do.